Alright, so you can tell from earlier I did a cylinder leak down test, and that told me that I had a lot of cylinders 1 and 2 were fine. Cylinder 4, I heard it leaking through the exhaust, so I thought it was a exhaust valve leaking by. But as I started testing all the cylinders, I didn't have the spark plugs out, so I retested all the cylinders with all the plugs out. Then I wasn't having any blow by through the exhaust, but I was hearing it from 4 to 3. And I could also feel the air coming out of the cylinder 3 spark plug hole. So it got me thinking that my exhaust valves are probably all fine. And when I did my leak down test, being that I had spark plugs in 1, 2, and 3, it wasn't showing me that I had any pressure, bleeding from 4 to 3. But what I think is going on, which is why we're doing all this, is I had a lot of oil in the coolant. No coolant in the oil, just oil in the coolant. So I think I have a head gasket blown, and I really think it's somewhere in the 4-cylinder or the cylinder number 4 area, specifically in the combustion chamber. So I think it's leading to 4, and also there's probably a coolant jacket, somewhere in that gasket. The seal between the oil passage and the coolant jacket. So somewhere in there, I think is what's going on. So anyway, I have valve cover off, all the wiring. It's all stripped back, all the hoses, all that. Everything should be. I get the exhaust off. I'm going to leave the intake manifold on. I'm mostly ready to pull the head off. The only thing I have left is the scary timing belt. Let me take you over here real quick. Of course, I got my cam locking tool. Now, I've read a lot about the making sure the timing is correct before you remove everything. Now, the problem I have is that, well, these are aftermarket adjustable cam gears. So, oh, your alignment's off. But I think that's just because the way this was tuned originally with the timing. And I mean, you can see the adjustment marks on here too. So what I'm using is my best judgment. So my dowel pins are facing up. That's good. And now we're going to need a flashlight for that. It's way too dark. You can see down here. So my crank timing mark. See it up here, crank timing mark, and this little point and that little divot. Okay, and this timing mark does not line up with this point. And I tried, but of course it's never going to line up. And I realize it's because I don't have my my balance shafts in here. They were removed. There we go. There's no balance shaft in there, which means you don't really need to get that keyed in on its ignition or its timing point. So I think when the engine was swapped, they kind of just put it back together, and that was that. So all my marks are lined up, with the exception of that and the aftermarket cam gears. So I think we're good to go to pull that belt off and pull the head off and see what's what. So let me get you set up in here. Okay. So let's get crazy. always nerve-wracking. Okay. Should be able to slip this off and slip into misery. I'm going to go ahead and take my adjuster pulley off. I have a kit coming. It's, you know, with a new pulley, a new adjuster and all that. So this looks fine. It's probably fine, but I'm certainly not going to go do all this work. You know, it is ridiculous pulling the engine half apart to change a couple of things. So while I'm in here, I might as well just do that. So pull the belt off. Ooh, you know what I forgot to do, which I said I wanted to do, was mark my cam gears, so I'm not doing this the next time. So it looks like the exhaust one moved slightly, but okay. What I'll do is make new marks. Here we go. No, I have no time. There goes the engine. You can see, I'm pretty sure, I don't think this belt has more than 10,000 miles on it. It looks fine. You know, but again, while you're in here, why not? So, okay, so that's off. Give these a wiggle waggle. Oh, you know what else I forgot to do? I want to zip tie this thing in place because it could pop out, and that would make me sad. Some zip ties. I didn't need two. So, that should be good. Very cool. Okay. So, I think we're going to go on, proceed with taking the head bolts off. Just confirming all these wires disconnected. I'm going to leave the spark plugs on here too, just so I remember where to go. And I do have new spark plug wires coming. I should be here sometime today, so. Okay. Let's need 12 point.
You're busted.
Okay. What's up?
I'm inside.
Let's wait like 20 minutes because stuff's in the dryer. Because it's soaked from the last time you went outside. So I just put it in the dryer, so just wait, okay?
You feel this.
Okay.
It's wet.
Great, just wait for your stuff to get dry, okay?
Okay.
Great.
I'll see you in a few more minutes.
Okay. That's really good. Okay, I'm do is incrementally loosen these.
25.
Okay, thank you for letting me know.
Look at your other clothes.
You don't have any other snow gear though.
What?
You don't have any other snow gear though.
Oh, my snow?
That's kind of what I just said.
Oh, I thought you meant my shirt.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh man. Bummer. Joy of having a snow day. Ooh, you know what I just noticed? No, it's a piece of paper. What is that thing? Get that out of there before I forget about it. I can't even reach it with that. There we go. How does this get inside of the valve cover? Okay. Whatever. Okay. Did I get that one? I think I did. That one. Didn't get that one. Did get that one. This one I don't think I got, and the actual the socket's not reaching this one because this head stud, so I have ARP head studs rather than bolts, and you can't really see it, but this stud is protruding up a little higher than the rest of them, so my shallow guy is not getting it. So I take, no, that's not going to work either. Well, I'm going to have to get creative, as always. So we have a deep 14, 12 point. Not looking good. Unless, here, so half inch. Well, that's 16. None of these are 12 points. Yeah, right. That's not going to do anything. Fantabulous. So, pretty disappointing. I'm not going to get very far, only removing 7 of the 8 head studs. So I've only got a shallow 14 millimeter 12 point. And the stud is bottoming out on the bottom of the socket before I can get to the actual nut in there. Because for whatever reason that head stud protrudes up higher than the other. Maybe that's part of my problem, because this is right in the area where I think I have a blown head gasket. Maybe that stud walked up a little bit, and that's what's allowing. Interesting. You know, just for bleeps and giggles, because the top of these studs are put in with an Allen. Let me see if I can loosen that with an Allen. And if it is in fact loose, then hey, maybe I save myself a trip to the store. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of loose. Metric, naturally. I don't know if I have the right metric though. Still feels kind of loose in there. 5. I try, that's going to round it. I know it will. Just going to go slippy dippy. Gently. Yeah, no, that's not doing anything. Okay. You know. So far, that is what's holding me up. So. I suppose I could. That wouldn't really do it either. So close one now. Give it a try, but I doubt that's going to come through. My other option would be to drill out the socket so the head stud could fit through it. But oh, that's no good. Yeah, it's just rounded right over. So let me take this. Take this over to the bench. I'm going to drill this thing out. I mean, whoop-de-doo, I mess up a socket. I can buy a new one. Might as well try to save myself a trip to the store if we can. Yep, that's pretty boring being over there. It's gonna get all wonky. There we go. Okay. Grab one of the new head studs. Okay, new head studs. Yeehaw. Used by NASCAR. That means they're official. Instructions, somebody lube, good stuff. That's 12 point. Just gonna pick out a new stud for reference, diameter reference for my drilling. I don't want to have to drill any larger than I need to. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna do 29/64. I can't go too far from the socket because I might mess up my drive. So we're just going to go a little bit. Very careful. Woo, 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 woo. Okay. Oh, looks blocky. So we haven't made it. I got a little bit further to go, so let's keep going. Try to do a nice. I think that's it. Let's see that guy. Oh, we're down here. So, looks like now I can go into the center of it a little bit with the head stud. So, Let's give this a try. See if that's any better. Let me clean this out first.